Hi, I'm Margaret, and this is Mag Sing Along. Today I'm going to talk about how to stop singing with fear and instead sing with confidence. So, our instrument is our body. And if we hurt our body, our physical body, let's say I hurt my throat and now it's harder to sing. That makes sense, right? But let's say I hurt my mind. So, for example, let's say I'm getting bullied a lot at school or at home, or let's say my beloved dog just died and I'm feeling grief. These are mental hurts. Well, those types of mental hurts can also make it harder to sing. And that's because our instrument is actually not only a physical body, it's also our mental body and our emotional body. It's like we're coordinating three different aspects of ourselves, like a emotional mind-body experience. We know through studies in neuroscience that when we in life are suddenly afraid, our brain sends alert signals to the rest of our body so that, we can actually go run and hide from whatever it is we're afraid of or fight back, whatever it is we need to do, or sometimes we freeze. But you'll feel your heart rate rise when you're afraid, adrenaline pumps through your body, and your muscles will probably tense a little bit as you get ready to fight or ready to run or whatever it is. And that's just the way that our body has developed through evolution so that we can survive. However, it makes it really hard to sing. Have you ever tried to sing when you're really, really nervous? It's way harder to control your breathing and you might feel a little tense, and it's just because your body is now in fight or flight mode. And that's not where you want to be when you sing. So let's say I am in the middle of singing and I'm not feeling afraid right now. I'm having a good time singing, but then that scary part of the song comes up, like maybe it's a high note and I'm afraid it might crack, or I'm afraid it won't, sound good, or I'm afraid I'll be flat or under pitch, or whatever it is. I'm afraid. So that part of the song comes by, my brain is afraid, so I get alert signals in my body, and suddenly I'm really tense for that moment that I'm afraid of in the song. And then I go through the rest of the song and maybe I'm fine, or maybe I'm thinking about how was it, did I survive, all that stuff. But what happens when we feel afraid in the brain is not only does it send all those alert signals through our body, but it's so busy doing that part of it kind of shuts off. And the part of our brain that shuts off is the part of the brain that we need to coordinate, to do more difficult tasks. So when part of my brain shuts off, I'm thinking about all the alert going on while I'm singing instead of the task at hand, which is to relax and let that scary part just flow through without fear. So I think most singers have experienced that before, where you're working on a part of your song that is difficult and you just can't seem to fix it. And it's because your brain is busy alerting you of how scary it is. So that's kind of a repetitive cycle singers can get stuck in. And the first task is trying to stop your mind body from being afraid of it. So my favorite way to combat fear in singing is something I like to call imagine singing. And it's kind of a neurological play with your body. So what you do is you sing your song, or you sing the phrase that you're afraid of, or maybe you're just afraid of singing in front of people in general. Whatever it is that you're afraid of, you kindly put yourself in that place and you sing whatever it is. but you don't actually use your voice. So you don't let your vocal folds vibrate, but you do everything else. You breathe, you say the words with your mouth, and you imagine the notes that you're singing. You actually hear them in your mind, in the exact pitch they're supposed to be. And if that's hard for you, try to play the music that you're supposed to sing with along while you actually pretend sing or imagine sing. And what this does is it makes you way more aware of what you're physically doing while you're trying to sing the scary part of your song or sing in general. So let's say while I sing my scary phrase out loud, I tend to move my head to the side, which is actually something I used to do for real. So let's say I'm singing, and I move my head to the side. Why do I do that? I don't know. I'm not even aware of it. So by the time I'm halfway done with my song, I'm asked, Margaret, why are you looking over there to the side of the wall? Oh, I don't know. I didn't realize I was doing that. Or another common thing singers do is their neck will come forward, and they get misaligned. This is all fear signals being sent to the body to do something to help with the scary thing, when that something is actually not what you want to do. So a way to combat that is to not actually sing and notice, oh, my head wants to go to the right. That's weird, I'm not actually singing right now. And then you do the phrase again. Recognize that you want to move your head to the right, but you don't have to because you're not actually singing. And voila, you just changed your habit. And it's not scary right now either because you're not actually singing. You're just physically pretend singing, imagine singing. And this is a neurological game. You're re-changing what neural pathways are being sent to which parts of your body. And it's a way faster way to do it than actually singing out loud. Another thing about imagine singing is that you're basically just visualizing the task that you need to do. So this is used by athletes in sports too, visualizing the game, visualizing the task you're going to do, and then your body just knows what to do because your brain already practiced it neurologically. So you don't want to just do it once. You want to practice imagine singing, the right way, at least a few times before you try it out loud with your good old vocal folds. And you might find a difference right away, but you have to be patient and just practice, imagine singing, real singing off and on together. I would say for a week or a few weeks, however long it takes you to change the habit. And then it will be something you need to be mindful of, going forward, because this is a habit and habits always like to come back. So it's something that you need to always be aware of. So just to recap real quick, these bad habits I'm talking about in singing stem from the underlying feeling of fear that we feel at the task we're trying to do. Fear takes us, again, out of the moment because our brain is sending so much alert signals to our body that it's hard for us to focus on what we're trying to do. And so we end up developing bad habits because of the fear we're feeling. So I hope that makes sense. So let's talk about confidence. Confidence goes a long way. If you have no experience in singing, but you're really confident that you're good for whatever reason, maybe a lot of people told you you were really good at it, or you just think you hear yourself and you're good, and maybe you are, you will be shocked at how good you actually will be. Confidence goes very far. I would say confidence comes from a healthy mind and body. And as we talked about earlier, if you're going through some physical or mental trauma, it does affect your feeling of confidence. It does affect your ability to sing, to coordinate. So confident people or confident singers are usually pretty healthy. And it is important to get basic technical help in singing. Obviously, you're coordinating some things that were not naturally like learned how to do from the womb. But if you're confident, it really, really does show. I don't know of any simple ways to teach confidence, but I do know that by just familiarizing yourself with the feeling of confidence, fake it till you make it type stuff, you will become more used to feeling confident, and you might notice yourself just naturally becoming confident just by pretending to be. And then I also know that with the more knowledge you gain about how to sing, the more confident you will become. It's hard to be confident about singing when you don't know what you're doing. So learning how to sing does help a lot. And lastly, just with the knowledge that everyone can sing. We all have the same anatomy and the same ability to use our voice. So no one is, pops out of the womb ready to sing opera or become a rock star. That is all trained. And it's not just like they're naturally really good. It's really important to know that. You can sing because everyone can. So to conclude, when you're trying to combat fear in singing, it's really important to pause, check in with your mind, body, see if there's any injuries there, try to heal them, gain self-awareness, practice being confident, practice imagine singing in your confident self, and you will see a lot of progress and hopefully feel more confident. But you do need to give yourself permission to be a good singer. You are in charge of getting yourself to feel like you're allowed to sing well. I'm Margaret, and this was Mag Sing Along. You can join me about every few months or so with new tips on singing.